Hello YouTube, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about Alan's book, the very famous Alan's very famous book. Well, not exactly talk about it. We're going to allude to it and talk about another book. For those of you just joining us, the famous Alan is, of course, Alan Lastufka, better known on YouTube as Falun Gong Sings Disco, because of his great love of music and his membership in the dissident Chinese sect. What? Oh. Okay. Better known on YouTube as falling over disk drives because of his unfortunate habit of leaving his hard disk in the middle of the floor. Better known on YouTube as Penny alla Pesto because of his powerful passion for pasta. Margarine or Crisco because of a chronic indecisiveness about shortening. Hit Me with a Fisto because of a sudden descent into unexplained self-destructive masochism. Count Monte Cristo because of a secret admiration for author Alexandre Dumas père, which rivals his admiration for author John Green frère. Oh! Okay. Better known on YouTube as Find a Mellow Bistro because of his great love of dining out in Paris. What? No, that's not right. It can't be. No, because fall is autumn. Fall of autumn doesn't make sense. Really? Better known on YouTube as the guy who wrote the book. The very famous book, YouTube, An Insider's Guide to Climbing the Charts, written by Alan Lastufka and Michael W. Dean. Not quite our topic on today's Nicholas Take. So this book, find the camera, come on, there you go, get the light, good. Now look into the lens. Come on, act like you know what you're doing. This book, YouTube, An Insider's Guide, is proving to be very popular, both with noobs, people just starting, and established YouTubers. The amazing thing about it is, given how thin the book is, it covers everything. From how to set up an account, what makes a good video, how to film your video, how to edit it, how to upload it, and most important, most interesting, how to get involved in the social side of YouTube and promote your video. And that's why it's earned a treasured place on my bookshelf right next to this book, which is also impressive, Motion Picture Work. This is everything you need to know about making movies. If you happen to be alive in 1913, Motion Picture Work is a fascinating snapshot of the state of the movie industry back in the early teens of the 20th century. Here's what I love about both these books. They're comprehensive. They cover the art, the business, and the technology, all rapidly evolving. The first half of Motion Picture Work is mainly about the technology and the equipment is so incredible looking. Lots of illustrations of early cameras and projectors, most of them cranked by hand. Now this is fascinating. They had electric motors, but most cities wouldn't let the projectionist use a motor. They felt they'd pay much more attention if they had to use the crank. So looking at this stuff, immediately you can see it's expensive and it's difficult to operate and difficult to maintain. That's one of the reasons the motion picture book has to be so much thicker than the YouTube book. It was just a lot harder to make movies in those days. You know what else is in this book? A basic course in electricity, a course in optics, a course in photography, a course in motography. Motography. Word didn't catch on. Sorry. Budgets, contracts, how to run a theater of any size in any town, how to staff it, how to hold down expenses, how to maximize your profits, script analysis, what makes a good picture. It's all special effects, how to do trick shots. It's all in this one book. They were even working in color and in sound, even though that wouldn't be perfected until the late 20s. It's all in this book. Well, not quite everything is in this book, thick as it is. Some of the most important innovations in motion pictures were happening at the time this book was written, but this author never found out about them, or if he did, he didn't think they were worth including. Not mentioned in this book, directors. Now, the role of the director was starting to evolve, but you would never find out about it from this book. They talk about the author, the producer, and the cameraman, and of course the actors. Not mentioned in this book, stuntmen. Book advises if you have something really dangerous to do, use a dummy. You know what else is missing? The close-up. In those days, they framed everything as though it were a stage play, with the camera well back so that you could see everything going on. They thought it was insulting and somehow disrespectful to leave part of the actor out of the shot. You know what else is missing from this book, thick as it is? Movie stars. I don't know what Michael Buckley would have done in those days. What the buck? Actually, he'd have been just fine. because the studios were discovering that there's some people that the camera loves and the audience loves even more. Why do I mention everything that got left out of motion picture work? Just as a gentle reminder that anytime anybody writes a book about technology and media, they're giving you a snapshot of something that's in rapid development. Innovation, invention, happening all the time. The incredible thing about YouTube is that so many of us can be a part of inventing that future. Alan's book is a great foundation, a great way to jump in, and I heartily recommend it. Oh, if you're interested in exploring motion picture work and you can't make it to my house to look at my copy, it's online. Google Books has it. I'll leave you a link. Next on Michela's Take, Smell-O-Vision Part 2, including a song about smell-o-vision. Yes, Michela sings, accompanied by Tom Milsom, hexachordal himself. I'm so excited about this. This is a really good time to subscribe, if you haven't. Tell your friends to subscribe, because the next Michela's Take, takes off.